Mirpuri. Welcome to this lovely episode of your favorite podcast, Thirsty Tales, because today we are gonna be educated all about F1 by Meher, and Soham, who here is also an expert. So I'm your student for today, guys. Illuminate me about F1.
I wouldn't say Soham is an expert.
Okay, now we're already getting into the.
I think this episode is gonna be too controversial, guys.
I don't think me and Mary are gonna be friends after this episode.
Yeah, I
guys.
really don't think so.
Okay, let's go into this. Art, you can ask the first question. Get into why I'm like why is it? So
Sure, 100%, man. So, what is F1? Despite being two letters, F and 1, what is it, and why do you love it so much? And why does everyone love it so much, to be honest?
Okay, so F1 is not two letters. It's short for Formula One. And it's basically a racing sport. And there are 20 drivers, 10 teams, and they race every week across the world. And it's really, really, amazing. I love it so much. There's so many aspects to F1. It's not just like a lot of people are like, oh, it's just going round and round in circles. But there's different track layouts. It depends on the tire strategy, track degradation, weather. There's driver gossip.
Whoa.
I love it so
it's
much.
There's a lot of physics involved.
Yes.
And then there's Kardashian stuff also going on sort of there.
Yeah, you could say it like that.
Yo, guys, I think we need another 20 tales.
Yeah, that's why I love F1 so much. And I don't know, I've never been a traditional sports type of person. I was always into other stuff like drama or media, that's my thing. But I'm also a big adventure sports person. I love diving, I love go-karting, I've done skydiving, I've done bungee jumping. And so F1 appealed to me like that. It gives you that adrenaline rush. I really love it.
Right, because what are the average speeds that they usually drive at?
Above 300 miles per hour.
Okay, of course. Adventures, I get
and
that.
when
Yeah,
these
now.
drivers, they sort of race, they hit at some form of a G, what's called a G force,
Yeah.
which is basically how heavy they've been impacted. Now, normally when you get into a car crash or any serious incident, you have around 20 G force. But when these drivers even make turns, it's 50. So
Whoa.
little impacts, they train their necks. That's how physically enduring a sport like Formula One is. Getting into a crash is drivers go out there knowing that they may not finish that race.
Yeah, and they have if you see F1 drivers, they have thick necks because they do huge weight
Whoa.
training on the necks. F1 drivers are the fittest athletes you will see out there.
Wow.
Like,
No, I think everyone's seen that video of Daniel Ricciardo or something.
Daniel Ricciardo.
Ricardo, guys, that's exactly what I said. Of doing the Scots thing that it's really important because you need to get your mass distribution right.
Yeah, sure, Arthur.
True,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was
Okay,
proud of you, Arthur. Okay,
I think
go
that
ahead.
Danny Rick squats are a bit of bands more than exercise, but it's true.
I think now Drive to Survive. Now F1 is recently emerging as a very big sport. Why is that?
So, there's a huge market of people out there who don't know about F1, and Netflix was one of the first to, capitalize on that and be yo, let's make a show about this,
Sweet,
and
okay.
let's do something about it.
Let's over dramatize it. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Because F1 is such it's such a huge, complex sport, and and also conversely, there's such a big audience who doesn't know anything about it. Netflix kind of simplified the concept of F1. They focus more on the surface elements. Oh yeah, they race. Who's fastest? What's the drama? You know?
That's such a good point. And it's also a
Yeah.
really good business model because I know that before it was sort of viewed as a rich man's sport.
Yeah.
Like dog racing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But then
Horse racing, you mean?
Yeah, horse racing, sure.
Dog racing.
Sure,
Dog
horse racing, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then now it's such a big deal and everyone loves it so much.
I think it's great that it's drawing in a lot of viewers. Clearly, especially in the US, it's brought in a lot of people. Now you see we have a Vegas race, we have a Miami race, we have a Texas
We
race.
have too many races in America.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. But the point is, it's made an impact. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important. But I think they also need to show more elements of F1 in the show.
Sweet.
Okay. Also, let's talk a little bit about the season,
Mm-hmm.
dubs, L's of the season. Now, I think what we're gonna dive into now is gonna be a bit more niche towards the Formula One fans. So everyone just follow along for what Meher says, and just if you have anything, just. Alright, so 3 dubs and 3 L's of the season.
Okay.
Season, by the way, 2022 to 2020.
2021. to
Sorry, I
2022.
can't English. I can't
2022
math.
to
2022
2021.
season.
Okay, so the 2021 to 2022 season, so the 2022 season.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Moving on.
I would say the clearest or the clearest dub, by far, has been Red Bull. I mean, come on, constructors champions, drivers' championship. Like they have dominated, and I'm super happy about that. Red Bull fan for the win, like always. You're wearing a McLaren hat, bro. What do you mean?
Oh, that's what that is? Okay.
Yeah. No, Red Bull has been so dominant because obviously Max was amazing last year. He won his first championship in 2021. But 2022 is really important for Red Bull because it showed it they weren't just like a one hit wonder. You know, like Max
Definitely.
continued to dominate. And this year, like there's been a lot of controversy for F1 around their second driver because Max Verstappen is obviously so amazing, super fast.
454, right?
Yeah, and the second driver has always been swapped out because they weren't good enough. But 2022, it showed Checo Perez really up there, like really.
Vamos, Checo.
Yeah, he got wins, he got poles. Like it was really like a significant season for Red Bull.
And I think that with this season, it also kind of shows that as much as we love to have, like, okay, fine. I mean, maybe let me get into a question with you with this. Okay, would you prefer to have 10 different race winners every week, or would you prefer to have one dominant? Because whenever we talk about sports like Formula One, you had the Schumacher era where Michael Schumacher was dominant. He would win almost every other race. He had, I think it was five back-to-back championships, and everyone hated him. Then came along what happened was Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian Vettel was one of the most hated racers. I don't know if
That's
you
so
remember
true.
back in
Yeah.
2013, we had a guy who was winning so many races. I think it was back in Spa. Everyone hated him so much. Of course, now he's one of the most loved.
Yeah, for
For
sure.
I'll miss you, Seb, next season. But what I'm trying to say is that would you prefer to have one good dominant team, or would you prefer to have 10 winners every week? Because dominance is not such a bad thing, because this way at least everybody else has a level playing field. Otherwise, if
Alpha.
Oh, you need to shut up, okay? Okay, so I think I divulged a bit too much, but would you rather have a dominant team, or would you rather have 10 people win?
See, that question, I think I'd answer that I have 10 people win, but it's difficult right now because I have been watching for so long and I've seen every single driver dominate except for Max. And then finally now, Max is in like his era.
Hamilton days.
Yeah, screw the Hamilton days. But
Good English.
it's like, finally my driver is winning, so I'm happy. Like, I'm not going to complain.
Okay, but
you
now
know?
think about it like this. Okay, Max has won 2 seasons. What do we think? He's gonna win what, like 100 more? Like, okay, not 100. Like, realistically, what would he win? Like
12?
no, that's
Whoa, buddy. Okay, relax now. That's not so easy.
Alright, I think you should stick to cricket, man. Okay, so realistically, how many would he win? He would win realistically maybe like 5 or something more. Do we
Yeah.
really want to see him that dominant? Do we really want to see, like, this season we had Ferrari, which we'll go back into later, have a package which was somewhat good, and of course Milano.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that do we really want to see Red Bull dominant all these next few years?
See, in a perfect world, in my perfect world, I would have more diversity in the winners. Like, I would love to see different winners. Like, I'm not just a Red Bull fan. Like, I love McLaren. I'm huge fans of drivers like Seb. I mean, no, he's retired, but I'm huge
Ex-drivers.
huge fan of drivers like George Russell. I'm huge fan of, I love Ocon. You know, I would love to see them win. But in my perfect world, I think I'd still have Max win. I still love him too much.
Okay, let's move on to another dub of the season. Dub meaning win, Art, if that registers in your head.
Yeah, no, I got that, right?
Oh,
yeah.
it's gonna find me
Because
tomorrow.
like
I can
dub
look at-
is like dab, right? So
Oh,
like,
no,
it works. One thing though, how long have you guys been watching this stuff?
I started watching in 2017.
I
Okay,
saw
so
it.
then
Yeah.
before the boom of like when everyone
I started
got into
watching in 2017. It started because I went over to my godparents' house and I was just watching on and off, and then I started to get like really into it later on. Yeah,
And for me, it was 2019.
I'm a better fan. Clearly.
guys,
I'm sorry. Whose McLaren sweater are you wearing?
guys, let's move on to the
So
next
home
question.
exposed.
Next question, guys. Next question. Another dub.
Alpine for sure. Like Alpine. They've been doing so good.
Oh
Like,
my god.
like I know that they're not Red Bull level or they're not top 3 level, but for their team, like there's been a lot of surprises. Like Ocon's been great. Alonso was like his quali in I think it was Canada. Yeah, the wet rain quali in Canada was phenomenal. Like they've just been in Q3 way more times than anyone would have expected. You know, that's why I think they were a dub.
Okay, now Alpine is such a team. They have Alonso. Alonso is a 44-year-old man driving better than 20-year-olds are. Ocon and Alonso are bringing the fight to the end of the level playing field, being the best of the rest. But what I'm trying to say here, is that do you think without Alonso and do you think with Gasly, the team will be as good next season?
I think they will. I think Gasly is a huge asset. I think Gasly is so underseen. Like I know, like I guess he's incomparable to Alonso with like all his championships,
And
all
all the
his
experience.
experience. Yeah, but I really think. I think Gasly will be great. I think the issue that they're facing is they've lost Otmar, one of their team principals, to Aston. Or no, they're gaining Otmar, so I think that's good.
Okay.
But I just think that Gasly is great. I don't think he's gonna ruin their team at all. I think he's gonna help, in fact.
All right, let's move on. I think we're gonna move on kind of to the L's because as much as I think that I think we'll move on to some of the L's of the season.
Okay, so I think the biggest, like most obvious L.
I know we're gonna talk about.
Yeah,
I knew we were gonna talk
I think
about.
the biggest L for sure is Ferrari. Like
Now Ferrari, Forza Ferrari. What is going on with this team?
it's embarrassing. Like it's not like I guess in 2021 they had like a shitty car. Like that's understandable. Like fine. Like I mean I guess it's not understandable, but it's an issue that's hard to deal with throughout the season. If you have a shitty base car, then you can't get far.
It messes up everything.
Yeah, but they didn't have that problem in 2022. Their
They had
problem was
such a
just
good
strategy.
car.
They were making rookie mistakes. Like Ferrari has won the most constructors championships as a team. They are iconic. They've been in the sport for the longest. I just don't get how, with no change in management, they're still making rookie
but as
mistakes.
much as we can blame Bernardo, it's always we want a scapegoat to blame, but it's the whole Ferrari.
It is the whole Ferrari team. Like, how are they making rookie mistakes?
Or like in Monaco, like what were they doing? Man?
I don't
they
know.
Called
That
him in
was
for
embarrassing.
They called him in for the hard.
Man, I didn't even watch Monaco. That was so embarrassing, man. Like actually, dude.
Oh, you are embarrassing to me.
I
Yeah,
didn't even
Art,
watch
this is really
that, man.
bad.
Like, actually,
You didn't
man.
even prep? You didn't even prep?
Bangkok prep international school. Okay, moving on.
Oh my god.
Okay, Ferrari. Now, I think the thing with Ferrari is that I cannot English. Okay, they had such an amazing start to the year. 1-2 in Bahrain, a good competition in Saudi,
Mhm.
brought the fight in Australia with a grand slam. Of course, that's also to blame with Red Bull's like unreliability.
Mhm.
But they had such a good chance. And then what happens? Their strategy just cocks up. Leclerc had a 54-point lead for it to be turned over, and then 10 races later, like Max is like in like 100 something points up, and it's just like so
Yeah.
embarrassing to watch. It's like you had it.
Yeah, that's really true. Like, I remember watching the beginning of the season being like, shit, like, this lead is insane. Like, I was feeling so hopeless. But then it turned around so fast, right? And Max got that lead. And I know that the strategy was a huge focus, but I think that Leclerc also, like, screwed up quite a few times.
Yeah, like I don't know if you remember, was this in Miami where was it Miami or France where he slid off?
I think it was France.
Yeah, he slid off. Like even though Max slid off in another race, he did a whole 360 and he came back on.
Yeah,
but with
facts.
Leclerc, he just slid off and then he lost.
Leclerc
Like,
had a lot of driver error that a lot of people chalked up to the Ferrari, but a lot of it was just human error. And I think that's, like, really overlooked.
okay, now another L.
Aston Martin.
Oh no.
They were just bland. Like, nothing special. Like, they had that amazing Seb like podium in Baku in 2021, and everyone was so hyped for that. Like, it was their first podium. They were doing well, and this year, you know, everyone had a lot of hope, and it was not good. Like, it was worse than 2021. It was just a disappointment, and there was nothing special.
I think okay, as much as we can blame the first season for Seb not being here, I think that the team overall, I don't know if you guys remember going back to 2020. They were P3 in the championship, and
yeah,
now
they
what?
were really good.
And now what? They've fallen back to P7, which is
Yeah.
so embarrassing. And not to mention the fact that they're tied with Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo, a team that's been struggling for so many seasons. All right, so another L.
I think Williams. Williams would be the final L. They were really inconsistent throughout the season.
And they had such a good chance. This was a new set of regulations, a new set of cars.
Mhm.
They had the chance to do so well. Like Alfa Romeo, they went from such a low position to going so high up. And then what does Williams do?
Yeah.
Williams I mean, of course, a lot can be blamed to the GOAT. Goatifi.
Ew, don't say that. Don't say that to me. No way. The only way I see him as a GOAT,
If
is
he goes meh meh.
no.
Alright,
Art,
stop.
alright.
please,
Go on,
come
go on,
on.
go on.
Okay, do you know what GOAT
Go
means?
greatest of all time, right?
Okay, thank you for knowing that. I would have actually like
Charvel taught me that. Like, yeah.
I would have physically removed him from the podcast. if he didn't know.
Physically removed him.
Nah,
Oh God.
I think the only way he's a GOAT was just because he saved that 2021 championship, you know? That's the only
We're
reason.
not talking about 2021 Abu Dhabi
Yeah,
because
we don't talk about it. We don't talk about
we
it.
cannot because it's so controversial. And I'm not. I was gonna even make a pun about who should have won, but it's just like
Don't do it. Just don't do
it's
it.
just like
You're gonna
what-
get backlash, bro.
It's just
Thirsty
Do it.
Tales will be
It's just
over.
Twitter.
Nike,
Twitter.
just do it, man.
Twitter's gonna come at me. Oh man, I'm not gonna say anything. Let's just move on to the next question.
All right.
All right, Meher, you saw the second best racer of all time,
Second best.
Max Verstappen,
Excuse me, second best?
after Michael Schumacher. Okay.
I guess that's acceptable. Yeah, I didn't see him. I met him on FaceTime.
Wait, no.
call.
After Hamilton, so Hamilton 7 championships, and then we put
Hamilton
Michael-
is not better than Max. End of discussion.
Okay,
so
no,
when
no.
I met Max Verstappen, I have really wonderful godparents, and they know a lot of people in the F1 world in Dubai. And I was just studying like one night, like it was maybe like a couple months ago. I was just doing work. I was doing homework, and then I got
That
a
I
call.
can relate to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
homework.
Yeah,
Wow.
100%.
Wow, homework.
100%.
what
yeah.
a
Yeah.
what a guy.
But
I
I was just doing homework, and my godmom calls me, and she's like, "Turn on your camera right now." And I was like, "What?" And then she just goes, "We're at a dinner with Max. Take the phone." And I went, "What? Huh? What?" And then he goes, "Hello," and I was like, "I'm your biggest fan. I kind of like it was just like gibberish." And then I said, and then he went, "Hi," and then my godmom goes, "Her name's Meher," and he goes, "Hi, Meher," and I died. Like I passed away. Like that's it. Like I don't need career goals. I don't need friends. I don't need like anything. This is it. This is like peak of life.
And then she woke up from the dream.
No, it was real. It was real. Okay, it was my profile picture, just Max on video call. It's my pinned post. Okay, it's the pinnacle of life.
All right.
Wow.
Now, aside from some funny jokes and some lies that Meher has just fed us
It's
with,
not a lie. You wish it was you. That's why.
we'll get Rehan to put some photos up.
No, but like actually, though, what is this thing right here, over here? What is this? Could you talk a
Okay,
little bit about
so
this? Yeah.
this is something I got from my godfather. 2021 Christmas, because I was in Dubai to see them and the rest of my family.
So then we do talk about 2021.
Ha 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 ha. Okay,
Thank you,
so
thank you.
Oh, that was a good. That was a good.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
I
thank you. I got you.
Thirsty Tales back. Okay,
Right.
so this is a
Thirsty
signed
Tales.
hat from Max's first year as being a championship winner. So this is his signature, and this is Checo Perez, and it's my proudest.
I'm sorry, one second. The backstage crew just wrote on an iPad its cap and then drew a cap there. Kudos to Rehan and Charvel, man.
I'm never coming back. Wait, yeah. So this is my favorite possession, my prized possession. My godfather got this for me in December for Christmas in 2021, and this side has Max's signature and this side has Checo's signature, and it's really important to me because this is the first year he won the championship. And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy that I have this. Why are you checking the price tags?
want to see how expensive it is. How much? So you think I can buy it off you?
Wait, bro, are you kidding me?
Now, the driver market. We've had silly season for drivers. We've had silly season for team principals. We've just had silly season over silly season over silly season. So, let's do it. Give us a little bit of what happened.
Okay, so the rundown. Main moves, I would say Piastri to McLaren, Hulkenberg to Haas, Danny Rick to Red Bull as a third driver.
Third driver, by the way, guys, he's not racing.
Gasly to Alpine, Alonso to Aston Martin, and Seb out of the game.
Well, I think that you never know he's out until he's completely out.
I think
I
he's
agree with
out.
that.
I think he's just going to
But
do
I
some
think
light environmental
But you know
work,
what?
you
I
know,
feel
sweet
like as
Seb.
much as I want to come back, if he comes back, then what? Do you not hear what he said? If I come back, then what I've been aiming for has not been successful.
Yeah, then I feel like Seb is the kind of person who would just bow out, one final time. He's not attention seeker like Alonso. Just
Yo,
comes back
come on,
for the
we
cash.
cannot-
He comes back for the cash, bro.
I'm sorry, you ask a 40-year-old to drive better than these 20-year-olds.
The guy's basically ancient at this point, man.
Wait. Okay, what's Alonso's first name?
Ball. Wrong sport, man. That's
You can't
Monzo
talk,
ball.
bro.
You can't
Wrong
talk.
sport. Never mind. Moving on.
Alright.
You know what's the best though,
So
right?
I'm
The
so
best is grabbing his mic, man. I don't give a both tasks is the best, by the way.
Ooh, okay, that's questionable taste.
His mustache is the only good thing about him.
No, he was last on the list that I prepped for. So
By the way, last from the first 10 positions. So in a filling car.
moving on.
I think
Okay.
Hulkenberg to Haas.
Nico Hulkenberg, okay, Meher, as much as you like Hulkenberg coming back, this is just showing that Formula One is going backwards. Backwards in the sense that we are going back to older drivers because we cannot find new talent.
That's
we
not true. I think there's so much new talent.
Then why are we going back, Meher?
Because
Mirpuri?
they're not good enough. No,
Okay,
I think,
why
I think,
is Nico Hulkenberg? He has not won a podium for the love of God. He is like 30 something.
But he is a great driver. He was just so unlucky. He was never given the right opportunities. Like, I think he could do great in Haas. Like,
Alright, okay, now
I really think he
philosophically.
could.
luck. Do
I
you
got
think
you.
luck is made, or do you think luck is luck? Like do you think that you determine your own luck, or do you think that luck is like always gonna be that sort of thing that lets you down?
Luck is labor under correct knowledge.
Which is
So we can definitely run our own luck.
this is what I mean. Like so many people have been so unlucky in the past. So as much as we can blame it on his luck, he was in the sport for 12 years and he didn't get a podium.
I'm still rooting for him. Okay, I think he's a great
Okay,
driver.
I think that Mick.
he's really.
I think Mick deserved that seat, man. Why you gave Yuki 3 seasons and then you give him?
Okay, I think a lot of people are blinded by like Mick's like good looks and family history. Like I think he's mid. Like honestly, he's mid
So you
at
think that if he
driving.
didn't have the Schumacher name, he wouldn't be in the sport.
I didn't say that. I just think that. See, I think that Mick is great, but when you see him compared to other teammates as comparison to an actually good driver like Magnussen did so much better in that car. And
Pole in Sao Paulo.
Magnussen is the GOAT. Like, I love him. He's one of my favorite drivers. I was so happy when he came back. I think that the Haas car, like, previously just did him dirty. And this time, it was his time to shine. Like, he came back and he proved everyone wrong.
Okay, now I think that we're gonna kind of dive into some stuff that we think sort of correlates to the driver market, which is, do you really think that Piastri was in that position to sort of decline Alpine and sort of go to McLaren? Do you think that it was like the right thing to do? He was contracted to Alpine.
I think that was a bit shady. Like I really like Piastri as a driver. Like I think he has great potential, but I think that contracts need to be respected. Like he signed an agreement.
Daniel
with,
Ricciardo 2020.
I think that he had a great opportunity with McLaren and he grabbed that, but I think that it should have just been clearer, like Alpine posting that he was the next driver and him being like, nah, guys, that's not it. Like, that was embarrassing. You know, that was embarrassing.
Okay, now talking about contracts, do you think Daniel Ricciardo deserved this seat this year?
I mean, when you see his work in McLaren, me as a Danny Rick fan, I would say yes, but honestly, I really don't know. Like,
because there are people spending millions of dollars to get into the sport, putting in so much effort for someone just because he's funny to be in the sport. As much as we love him as a personality, we cannot love him like a racer.
It's just difficult because you see, like, he did 10 years of his career at Red Bull, and then the switch to McLaren, I know it was 3 years, and I think that Danny Rick is a great driver, but having that 10 years in Red Bull like screwed him up a bit because he couldn't gain the driver skill of adaptability.
So do you think that his
like
move,
adapting to different
do you think
cars?
that his move to Renault was a bad move, or was it the move to McLaren that was a bad move?
I think the move was to McLaren was a bad move. The point is that he needed to work on his adaptability. He needed to work on adapting to the new car. And he just upped and left too fast. Like, I really think that if he worked with Alpine more, that he could have gotten somewhere better than now, where he is now, as a third driver, not even racing.
Okay, now I think we're going to sort of dive into the last question, which is WDC Championship for 2023. Who you think is going to... We have a list of people. Pick who you think is going to win.
Yeah, do that.
By the way, you know, when I said the first thing about the squats thing, that was not Daniel Ricciardo. That was Lewis Hamilton.
I think it was Danny Rick. No, Danny Rick.
Just shut up, okay?
They all look similar, man. They all look similar.
Alright, pick.
Actually, you're offending so many people.
Wait, no,
right
alright.
now.
Well, we'll do yours last. Let's do Meher's first.
Yeah, for sure.
My predictions? I would say
Don't say it.
I'm scared for Red
Don't
Bull
say it.
because of the wind tunnel issue. I'm terrified, but I think that Max will still win. I think I'm going to have Max P1 championship again. I think that Ferrari is going to come back, but I think it's going to be Sainz. I think it's going to be Sainz P2, and I think Russell is finally going to like significantly trump Hamilton in Mercedes, and I think he's going to be P3.
Do 5. Do up to 5.
Ooh, okay. I think that Gasly in Alpine is going to be one that no one's expecting. I think that one is going to be insane. I think he's going to be P5. And then in P4, I'm gonna say Alonso in
Wait. Say it again.
Aston Martin, because here's the thing. Maybe not P4, but I really think he'll be up there. Like a veteran like Alonso, I think that he chose Aston Martin for a reason. You know, like I think he sees something in them. I think he's gonna help develop it, and I think it's gonna be good.
Okay, now I think I'm gonna go for myself. I think that with me, as much as I want Red Bull to win, I think Mercedes is gonna bring the fight to the top.
Ooh.
As much as Meher doesn't like to say it, I think I'm gonna go for it.
I don't like him.
Hamilton first, Verstappen second, Leclerc third, followed by Russell, and then followed by fifth. Now, this may seem like a surprise. You may not be expecting it, but you all gotta admit it's gonna be Ocon.
That could be a good shout. That could really be a good
Okay,
shout.
now champion constructors. I think that for me, I think that Red Bull's gonna bring the fight to the top, followed by Mercedes and then followed by Ferrari. I think that as much as Mercedes might have a good driver in Hamilton, he's gonna come back for the A title. You just know it.
I don't think so. I hope not. I don't think he should.
All right, you go for your thing
I
and then
got
we'll
you.
wrap it
I
up.
You got this. You
Hear me
got
out,
this.
right.
We believe in you.
Red Bull, right? What does Red Bull give you? Energy. Energy is equal to half
Oh.
mv squared, right?
Oh.
And V is velocity, right? So they're gonna be the fastest, therefore Red Bull's gonna win the thing, right?
Oh my god.
Hear me out. Horses, right?
Who put Art on that
Horses,
one
you know what I'm saying,
episode?
right? Horses, right? Horses
Oh.
have power. Power is equal to force and velocity, right? It is, right? Force and velocity? Alright, okay, fine. So they also have velocity.
Backstage crew does not look certain.
Red Bull has velocity squared. So they're gonna win and Ferrari's gonna be second.
But Red Bull has wings.
And Mercedes, they're a luxurious car brand. Like, how can they even compete with being the fastest? So they're probably gonna be third. And because I'm amazing, I'm only gonna do 3. That's it.
Okay.
No,
that's it
I
for
think
me.
you should do the drivers as well. You know.
Oh no.
Do the drivers? Okay. All
I
right,
know.
okay,
I'll
fine,
do
okay,
3
fine.
though. Okay, if you do.
Okay, fine. We've been talking about this Verstappen guy a lot. So I need some Red Bull. So I think it's gonna be his time. It's gonna be his season.
Bro
Alright?
said Verstappen.
So that guy's gonna be up there for sure. Leclerc's not gonna do good. His last name's like Clerk, basically. So not. Hamilton's gonna do good. I like Hamilton. I have friends who shout his name for no reason. So he's probably gonna be second.
You need to get rid of those friends.
And then, and then I disagree with Soam. It's not gonna be Ocon. It's gonna be Alonso. Alonso Ball, my
Okay,
man.
okay.
Ooh.
Right? Who's gonna
What's
be
his
there?
first name again?
Alonso Ball.
Oh.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
That's
okay,
it for
buddy.
me. That's it from me.
Okay, guys,
And
thank
also
you
we're gonna
so
come through.
much, Meher, for coming on to this episode.
No